All right, so get this. You ready to have your mind blown about like the stuff you eat for breakfast?
Always Ray. Shoot.
Okay, so today we are going deep, deep, deep into this crazy fact that humans, you know us, share 50% of their DNA with, get this, bananas.
Bananas.
Bananas, I know, right? So we're going to be going through some excerpts from Humans and Bananas' Unlikely Genetic Cousins
Okay.
to kind of figure out, like, what does this actually mean, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds like one of those, like, random fun facts, but trust me, there's way more to it.
It really is. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, on the surface, we're looking at humans and bananas, and it's like, how?
Right, yeah.
But then you peek under the hood, so to speak, and you start looking at the blueprints, the DNA,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, there's a lot of similarities.
So, like, are we just reading from, like, the same instruction manual, but somehow ending up with totally different, like, products?
Yeah, basically, the thing you got to remember here is that everything, all life on Earth, shares a common ancestry. And that's a tough one to wrap your head around sometimes, but essentially, you're talking about everything from the tiniest little bacteria
Okay.
to the hugest oak tree. We're all speaking the same basic genetic language.
So let's deep dive into that genetic language. That, like, what is that?
Okay, so imagine, a language that's just written with 4 letters. So A, T, C, and G. And these represent what are called nucleotide bases.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the, like, fundamental building blocks of DNA.
Gotcha.
So these bases, they get organized into these structures that are called chromosomes, which are basically like bundles of genetic information.
Okay.
And the wild thing is, those basic building blocks are so similar across all living things.
So is that what that 50% number is about?
Yeah.
It's not like saying a banana is half human, right?
All right, exactly.
It's more about the stuff that makes our cells work.
Exactly. It's those core processes, those fundamental tasks like
Yeah.
cell division,
Yeah.
DNA repair, metabolism, all that stuff.
Like stuff that everything needs.
It's the must-haves
Gotcha.
for any organism to survive. Doesn't matter if it's a banana, a human,
Yeah.
a slug, whatever.
Yeah.
And because they're so essential, they've been preserved. They've been passed down through like billions of years of evolution.
So it's like evolution has this toolbox of like essential genes,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just kind of tinkers with them over time, and that's how we get all these like crazy different forms of life,
I
right?
mean, that's a great analogy. They're like the basic tools in evolution's kit.
Yeah.
And over time, each species kind of adapted these tools
Absolutely.
to their specific needs, So for instance, with humans, these shared genes might be involved in building our complex nervous systems,
Right.
whereas in a banana, they're helping the plant grow, helping them ripen that delicious fruit,
Yeah.
respond to their environment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, this connection is cool and all, but like, what does it really mean for us? Like, are there actual real world implications of this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially in the field of science.
Okay.
For example, studying simpler organisms like, our friend the banana can actually give us a lot of insight into human biology and even disease.
So it's not just like a cool fun fact. Like, are there any specific examples of that?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So researchers who were studying the ripening process in bananas, they actually found this group of genes
Mm-hmm.
that's also involved in human aging.
What?
Yeah. So by understanding how these genes work in bananas, scientists can actually gain insight into how aging works in humans at like a cellular level.
That's amazing.
And that knowledge could even lead to new treatments for age-related diseases.
So I could like stave off wrinkles by studying bananas.
Maybe.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh.
Who would have thought? It really does kind of highlight how connected everything is, right?
It really does, yeah. And it's not even just about the scientific discoveries. It's really about like the whole shift in perspective this knowledge brings, If we're so closely related to a banana on a genetic level,
Right.
it really makes you rethink that whole like humans are at the top of the food chain kind of idea.
I remember when I first heard about this whole banana thing, I was like, well, there goes my superiority complex.
Exactly. It's really humbling when you think about it,
Yeah, it is. It is.
It really forces us to kind of acknowledge this kinship with all living things,
Yeah,
even the ones that we might consider lower on some arbitrary scale we've made up.
totally. And it does make you wonder, like, if we're this connected to bananas,
Mm-hmm.
what other like crazy genetic connections are out there
Mm-hmm.
that we just haven't, like, figured out yet. Like, maybe I'm related to the avocado toast I had this morning. Who knows?
That is an excellent question and great place to leave it for our listeners.
Right. Yeah.
It really is a reminder that nature is full of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we explore it,
Yeah.
the more we're going to find these crazy connections.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the world of bananas, humans,
My pleasure.
genetics. It's all connected.
It really is.
And we'll see all of you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you next time.